Welcome back. So excited to be here today as we continue on with our Founders Scholarship Fund Summer Series. What a treat. What a treat today to have Tamya Ormond and Shamieka Smith here with us. Guys, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you guys. It's great to have some of our folks, our folks out from the Four Oaks area travel in. I heard about the storms that you had. Those were some pretty crazy storms. So I'm glad you're here safely. Welcome to Charlotte. And welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
Tamya, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
First year. So Tamya, first of all, congratulations. You just completed your first year at NC at Central.
Yeah.
Okay. So go Eagles.
Eagle Pride.
Okay, Eagle Pride. So there you go. I like it. Tell us about your first year.
My first year was pretty good. It's not like how it would be in my movies, but it was great.
Okay. So I mean, not yet. First freshman year, it's hard. It's a lot of kind of just getting to know folks. You're in a new, you get in a new city. You're in Durham. Durham's a cool place. So, how'd y'all's football team do this year?
We did pretty good. We had some losses, but I think the wins outweigh the losses.
There you go. Yeah. I love your perspective on all things. We were talking about your football program earlier, so love that. Well, congratulations on being one of our Founders Scholarship recipients this year.
Thank you.
I had the pleasure of reading your essay and your submission, and just so appreciated it. And I'm excited for our listeners to kind of get to know you a bit more throughout this podcast interview, but also to welcome a really special person, your mom, Miss Shamieka Smith from the CX All-Stars.
Yes.
And there's more. Also a former Memory Maker of the Year for 2022, I believe.
Yes.
Memory Maker of the Year, one of our highest, most esteemed awards that we give out. And I remember that. It was so great to announce Shamieka there at Bank of America Stadium and welcome you on stage. It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Okay, so tell us the story. Where were you, both of you? We'll start first with Tamya. Where were you when you found out that you won the Founders Scholarship Fund? You were one of the winners, one of the recipients.
I was on campus. I was asleep. And I had missed a phone call because I'm a heavy sleeper. As soon as I woke up, I gave Ariel a call back, and she told me who she was and what the call was for and regarding to. As soon as she said that I won a scholarship, my eyes shot open. Like I was shocked. Like I'm grateful, but I was shocked. Like as soon as I got the phone with her, I said, "Let me call my mom." I called my mom. She answered. I called her again. She answered. And she was like, "Hey," I was like, "Mom, you won't believe what just happened." She was like, "What?" I said, "I won a scholarship." She was like, "Huh? Be for real." I was like, "Mama, I won the scholarship." She was like, "Who called you?" I said, "It was Ariel." And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you." And then she started crying. I said, "Mama, stop. No need for all the crying." And she just kept crying. And then I hung up and I got the phone with her. I called my grandma and I told her, and she was just proud. Everybody was proud. Like, I just wanted to tell the whole world.
I love that. Well, first of all, it's a great way to wake up in the morning, to get a phone call from Ariel and extending the good news. That's so great. I love that you called your mom. She didn't answer on the first time. I mean, come on.
Right.
I'm sure she's busy. Shamieka, having received that call, like, what were some of your thoughts? And
Oh my goodness. Tamya has worked so hard. She has put a lot of effort. I've seen her grow in this past year. So for her to receive that assistance, that support, when you think, okay, what am I going to do this year? I'm working as hard as I can. My mom working as hard as she can, but to have that extra boost and to be heard. I think more important she was heard.
Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Well, we're going to talk about that hard work ethic. I mean, catching up with you earlier, like I'm still amazed. So our viewers, our listeners are gonna we're gonna be able to hear a little bit more of that. But so tell us about your major. Tell us about your plan here for college and how this scholarship will help you. It's going to help you pursue a degree in.
My major is pre-nursing. I'm going for my bachelor's, and I plan to go back for business and administration towards that because I couldn't do double,
Yep.
majors. Um, as far as that, I always wanted to do it. Like it's always been something heavy on my mind. Like when I get older, I know what I want to do. And then with the help of my mom, I achieved that goal, and now I'm here
I love it.
down the path completing it.
Yeah, you're executing the mission. So nursing,
Yeah.
an amazing field to go into. So tell me, like, how have you always wanted to kind of go into nursing, or
Yes.
how did you have that passion or desire to pick out of all the fields nursing?
I grew up on it. Like when I was taking care of my grandmother, my great granddad,
Mm,
my aunts, my mom, everybody, and then working with my mom when I had to go to work with her when I was younger. I think that's what did it. Like this is what I want to do when I get older.
yeah, I love it.
So
Mom, do you always like, kind of when she said I want to go into nursing? What were some of your thoughts on it?
I was not surprised.
Okay.
I remember Maya being 3 years old. They had the doll babies. She was taking care of the doll baby, and she had them in each bed
Oh wow.
where you can actually see like this person's in this bed, this person this bed, and she goes back and forth. 3 years old, like she was just a caretaker at 3 years old. So it wasn't a surprise. It
That's
wasn't a
awesome.
surprise.
That's awesome. Our boys have or used to have some stuffed animals, and I don't know that they took that much of loving care on the stuffed animals. Stuffed animals were usually like different parts of the rooms, like kind of thrown around in the middle of the night. So yeah, at an early age, you were caring, and you're showing that now as you can start to think about your future in nursing. Okay, so first freshman year is completed, right? So what were the big learnings? What were the big ahas after freshman year?
mainly knowing who's your friend and who's not your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, knowing who would be there when you need them, as far as like studying
Oh yeah.
and like mental health. So when you need somebody to talk to, vent to, and when you need help, like you'll know who to go to. And if they wasn't there to really help you, then there shouldn't be somebody that you take along with you along the way.
Yeah.
College.
Some great learning moments from your first freshman year, like because you got a lot of information coming at you, and so you talked about studying habits. Like, what were some ways that you kind of said, "Hey, I've got to change. This is how I've got to study because it's the way that works well for you." What were some things that you did there?
I just had to look at everything one by one, like, oh, when I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna do this, and just plan it for us everything, because it was different plans for everything. So, I had to work with that and work with what I knew, work what I should do, and go from there.
Okay, one of the I always love talking to our college students about their favorite studying snack.
Um,
What's a favorite studying snack of yours?
I love Starbucks. I always had my drink on one side, and then I had a little breakfast sandwich on the other,
There you go.
and just work right there.
That's a good setup. So you go. So what's the beverage? What do you
It
get?
was a caramel ribbon crunch frappe.
Wow. Okay. All right. And then okay, you're ready to go. You're ready to go. I love it. Okay. Um, we talked about work ethic. Where does this? Because this summer, I was asking you, as we were kind of getting to know each other about your summer plans, and you got a pretty busy schedule. So I mean, I think you're working 2 jobs.
Yes,
Is that right?
yes.
So, so you're working 2 jobs, and keeping. So how do let me say this: where does that work ethic come from? To during the summertime to be working 2 jobs, getting ready to go back to your second year at school.
My motivation would be my family and myself because I know what I want for myself, and I know that I want more for myself, and I want to be more and know and have more in life. So it's like I gotta work hard to get to where I want to be. So
Love that.
I'm just working hard.
You're just working hard. I love it. I love it. Okay. Mom, where do how do you kind of keep her balanced as well with like knowing how crazy that schedule is? A nighttime job, morning job, studies.
I do a lot of praying.
Oh, love
I
that.
do a lot of praying. When I let her do her, one thing I do know, she has to make her own mistakes. I'm mama, so I'm gonna be there to help direct her back on path. But telling her, showing her, God is going to keep her on the right path, but she has to make that right decision. Um, and she has leaned on God. That's where her strength is coming from. I take no credit.
I love that. I love that. Well said. Well said. Okay. Favorite class in freshman year? Do you have a class that you like?
I would say my human anatomy and physiology. It was a hard class, but it's interesting. Like learning about the body and the different types of stuff. Like it was interesting.
Okay. All right.
Between that one and biology.
Okay. So I know you said this is your first podcast
Yeah.
that you've been on. So congrats. I'm sure this is not going to be the last podcast you'll be on. But did you listen to any other podcasts or do you read or listen to like what else do you like to do if you're not working, which I know is or not studying?
Um, I would say sleeping. Like getting ready, like just between studying, sleeping, and working. That's my daily thing.
Okay. Um, Studying S, sleeping S. I think there's another S out there that you mentioned. You're a big fan of shopping.
Yes, shopping. I love
Okay.
spending money.
So that's, I mean, a lot of the work, but you also enjoy, I mean, which is great because, we are a retail company. And so we get customer experience. Mom gets customer experience. She's a pro. She's an all-star in it. So where do you love going out and you love the experience of shopping, or do you like to do everything online?
I do both. Like, I order from this clothing site, called Shein. I love it. Order most of my clothes from there. And I like to go out and go in the mall and see like the different stores because there's always something new. So I love, exploring, looking for something else to buy, you know.
Yeah, well, I think that's great. What so as we think about this scholarship and our word of this year, 2024, is connect. And so I loved how you connected in your essays. What stood out to you as you were kind of thinking about applying and looking through this? Like, how did you connect with the scholarship process this year?
Um, it was pretty, it felt like I'm just expressing myself mainly. Like it's people reading it, but it's like giving me a chance to express myself, be heard, and knowing that somebody's going to actually read it and will take the time to read what I have to
Mm,
say. So,
okay. I love that. And Shamieka, what advice would you give other memory makers who have been maybe like either scared or hesitant or just like what advice would you give them about considering this Founder Scholarship Fund?
The best advice I can say, if you don't apply, you won't get it. If you apply, the worst thing can be is try again next year. And, just express yourself. Be honest. Be honest.
Yeah, I love that. Any advice that you'd give to my?
like my mom said, express yourself. Don't be scared to apply. It's either you're going to get it or you're not, but it's every year that you can reapply and pray on it and you'll get it.
That's right. That's right. We also talked about, love to hear kind of about community. For us, um, with our purpose statement being furnishing life's best memories. I loved kind of hearing that story of you woke up, you got the news from Ariel, and then you proceeded to call your mom and your family members. That's a memory. That's a memory that hopefully you'll have for a long time. But there's other ways. When we say furnishing life's best memories, it's outward, it's external. It's not for us. It's for the communities and people that we get to do this with. And so I know that's important to you as well. And so
Yes.
tell me about community involvement and what that means to you.
I love helping people, so it's different things that they have out there that I could do, and so I just try to, explore everything and see what I know I would really be interested in doing.
Good.
So,
That's great. And I've been to a lot of towns in North Carolina and the Carolinas, but Mom, tell us about where home was. Home for you two is
It's in Smithfield now, but it was Snow Hill.
Snow Hill.
3 stoplights.
3 stoplights. All right. So for all of our listeners in Snow Hill, anything to say for the folks back home?
shout out to my hometown. I love y'all.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Goals for the upcoming year. So summertime, it's a refresh, right? Kind of look back at the freshman year, getting ready for your second year. What are some of the goals that you're setting for yourself as you think about your second year at Central?
I would say stay on top of everything because it's gonna start getting kind of hard, So stay focused, stay on top of everything, rest, take time for myself, and just work hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And Shamieka, advice for parents, for memory makers, anyone listening who has a son or daughter getting ready to go to school.
Yeah.
So now you've got this experience. You completed your first year. You're here. Yeah. What advice would you give to parents that have a son or daughter going to college this fall?
Be their mentor. Be their mentor. Hear them. Listen. Let them make their mistakes. I promise they get back on track really quickly. And just let them grow.
Yeah.
Let them flourish.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen, one of my good mentors. We have two kids in middle school now. He just left lower school, and the advice that he gave me was at this period of time, he said the days may seem long,
Mm-hmm.
but the years go by quick.
Really quick. Really.
And I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. So I mean, you've seen the first year go by. Excited for the second year?
I am. Every year she's growing as a person, as a young lady. I'm seeing her mature. I'm cherishing the time with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Well, final advice for our college students or sons and daughters of memory makers that are looking to apply to the Founders Scholarship Fund. Anything that you would say to them in closing, Tamya?
You will learn the most lessons when you make mistakes.
There you go.
I made the most mistakes, but I learned from it, and here I am today.
Yeah. One of the things for our viewers and listeners, they hear Charlie talk about this, right? Winning. Sometimes we think it's winning or losing, right? When in reality, it's winning and learning,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so losing's a mindset, right? And so no, it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to learn. Now the key is, or one of the keys is to make sure that we try not to make that same mistake twice, right?
Yeah.
Because no one wants to pay tuition twice. It's
Right.
it gets expensive, right? And so, well, thank you for that. Great advice. And you're right. You do learn a lot from those opportunities, and it makes you stronger, as you said. Shamieka, again, just so excited to see you here with Tamya on this podcast and celebrate the two of you. Like what a great story. And I'm so glad that you applied to this Founders Scholarship Fund. So glad that you're going into nursing because it's such a valuable profession and one that it takes a really unique skill set. And so I really appreciate you doing that. Parting words for our viewers or for our listeners on anything having to do with the Founders Scholarship Fund or having, again, a student in college.
The scholarship is attainable. I want to say that first.
Yep.
And for the students that's starting out, be transparent with your parents. You have support, and I hope you be successful.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. So enjoyed having you on the podcast. Congratulations. I'm confident that we're going to be speaking to you again soon to check in, see how your second year was at Central. Hopefully the Eagles have a great fall season and that you're going to have an amazing second year there in Durham. So,
Thank you so
we are
much.
all cheering for you.
Yes, thank
All
you.
right. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on our Founders Scholarship Fund. This is the summer series. And again, we love coming to you each week with these episodes, highlighting some of our winners, some of our recipients, sons and daughters of memory makers, really all connected to our purpose of furnishing life's best memories. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your week.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.